I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, February the 8th, where we had a kind of a quiet Wednesday for a change, and it was nice for a change. Your board ended up a little lower, but it was just kind of quiet through the day and wasn't doing a whole lot of topsy-turvy stuff. Didn't have any fat cattle trade to speak of. None of your cash markets were too wild, and just kind of a steady, strong go, and kind of nice to have one of those once in a while for a change, especially after all the volatility we've seen this week, especially in the stock market. But you look at the board on Wednesday, April live cattle futures down 60 cents at the end of the day to end at 123.97. February spot live cattle contract down just 2 cents at 125.60, and I think we could still hope for a steady go this week. March feeder cattle down 42 cents to end the day at 148.30, and April was down 7 cents to settle at 149.35. And the fat cattle trade, we haven't had any significant trade at all so far to speak of. We've had a few loads, a few pins here and there, about 126 to 127 and $2 dressed, and that's just kind of carryover from last week. We haven't seen anything to establish a market this week. Fed Cattle Exchange online sale had one pin sell on Wednesday at 126. So I would say it's going to take quite a bit to run this market off of steady this week. You look at fat cattle auction, Sioux Falls Regional, Worthing, South Dakota had near 850 head of slaughter cattle on Wednesday. They sold them steady to $2 higher, from 123.5 to 126.5 on choice steers and heifers. So I would think we could sure get to 126 and maybe squeeze another dollar out of this market this week. Box beef cutout values have been near steady with last week. So far this week have been up and down just a little bit, but nothing too big. Your choice cutouts on Wednesday afternoon were 209.37, up 94 cents. Selects were 203.14, up 14 cents. Slaughter's been decent so far this week, 346,000. That's 5,000 less than the fast clip they had last week, but less, and 11,000 more than the same week a year ago. But you look at your feeder markets, your real-time index on Beef Market Central, based on the 800-pound steer up through the 12 states, ended the day on Wednesday at 147.32, down just 38 cents, but a lot of big Southern Plains sales. The weather was pretty rough across Missouri, so the sales there had curbed receipts. St. Joe hardly had any cattle at all. Springfield had a real light run, and on through that area, right through there, right in the heartland, is kind of slick roads and blowing snow and just kind of miserable wintry mix there. But you look down the Southern Plains, it was dry as usual at OKC West in El Reno, Oklahoma. They ended their two-day sale with 11,800 head, with feeder cattle selling $1 to $2 higher. And they've kind of caught back up. They've been hitting the bad volatility on that Wednesday. Has been getting the Wednesday sales with the board and everything the last few weeks, but just a nice quiet Wednesday this week. They were able to gain a few bucks back and get caught up with everybody else. If you remember, on Tuesday their calves sold steady, so a good week there at El Reno. Dodge City, Kansas at Winter Livestock had 3,300 head on Wednesday. They sold their feeder cattle steady with spots of $2 to $3 higher. Now I got to give you this market. I'm not really telling you this is what cattle are worth, because it's in Bassett, Nebraska, and I'm not sure if they sell beer and whiskey or give it away there during the sale, but you would think so when you see some of these prices here with these farmer feeders there going into the sand hills and buying those really top quality cattle and just giving it all for them. They had several stick out sales, but none more than this one on Wednesday in Bassett. 142 head of steers, weighed 733 at 175.75. And then a place where they normally got their head screwed on right, but seems pretty high to me. But this may be closer to the market there in the northern plains and over towards the mountain regions. Torrington, Wyoming on Wednesday had 199 headed string of 733 pound steers, bring 168. That's pretty good. But that's your feeder flash for Thursday.